Good afternoon and welcome to Republic TV. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The big news we're getting at this hour is from Tamil Nadu, where 18 MLAs of the TTV Dinakaran camp have moved to the High Court. Their plea is currently being heard. They are saying that they should not have been disqualified by the Speaker on grounds of defection because they have not defected. They've only demanded a change in the Chief Minister. The camp further argued that MLAs have a right to revoke support to the Chief Minister on grounds of corruption. Remember, this has been a tussle which has been going on for several weeks now. As of now, with the disqualification by the Speaker, the unified AIADMK comprising of EPS and OPS camps are on a strong wicket. But let's see what happens in the court now. Sanjeevi, tell us what is the status of the hearing? What's likely to come out?
Well, a very heated argument is going in Madras High Court, Hall 23, where all the senior lawyers of the Supreme Court, including Kapil Sharma Khurshid and also Dave or inside. So hearing is beginning and TTV Dinakaran side, advocate Dave is keeping the arguments in front. So he clearly mentions that, that the letter which was given to the governor, says only the Chief Minister should change and it doesn't have anything to do with pulling down the government. So the anti-defection law grounds are not very strong here. At the same time, MLA has rights to revoke their support for Chief Minister under the Corruption Act. And importantly, the lawyer also mentioned the Yediyurappa case of Karnataka, which happened in 2011, and also cites the argument of the Supreme Court, and also cites the verdict of the Supreme Court, and also says this is a similar case, kind of the case. So the verdict of the Supreme Court can be taken here. This is the argument which is being put forth by the TTV Dinakaran camp advocate Dave. And the argument is still going on. The heated argument is still going on. And next, the Tamil Nadu government and also the Speaker.
Also, Sanjeevi, tell us about the arguments being made by the EPS and OPM camp. They, by a General Council meeting, had disqualified Shashikala and TTV Dinakaran. Are they going to put a copy of that resolution before the court today?
No, that has nothing to do with, because this is totally, connected with the disqualification of 18 MLAs and also, nothing to do with the party. It's totally depending upon the legislative issue which is going on and about the disqualification of the MLAs and nothing to do with the party issue. So now the Speaker's argument, the Speaker's side argument is going to start in some time. Now only the argument is going from TTV Dinakaran side and the other argument will start in some time. So now, the Justice Swamy is clearly hearing the argument. And it's going to take at least half an hour. The argument will go at least for another half an hour, and still the argument is going on, Parikshit.
Right. Now, with these 18 dissenting MLAs out for the moment, the EPS and OPM camps are on a safe wicket. But if this decision in the court, in the High Court, goes against them, they could be in for some trouble.
Well, exactly. That is why the case has been put up by the TTV Dinakaran faction, because the Speaker actually disqualified all these 18 MLAs under anti-defection law for meeting the governor, and also says that these 18 MLAs are threat to the government itself. But now the advocate of TTV Dinakaran camp clearly argues that anti-defection law cannot be here because these 18 MLAs are acting against only the Chief Minister Edapadi Panichami and not the whole government itself, because he clearly mentioned the citations of the argument which has been kept in Yediyurappa case in 2011, saying that that any MLA can actually meet the governor to change the Chief Minister under the corruption law, and these MLAs are not against the government and these MLAs are actually against the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edapadi Panichami and not the government at all. So the anti-defection law cannot be imposed in this manner. So we have to wait and see what the judge is going to say. And the argument of the Speaker and also the governor is still pending. So now TTV Dinakaran's advocate is still arguing. Parikshit.
Right. TTV Dinakaran's lawyers are arguing in court, and this is a big hearing. It could decide the course of politics in Tamil Nadu. And I'm sure TTV Dinakaran has decided to fight it till the end. Even if this case in the High Court is not in their favor, they will go and fight this in the Supreme Court as well.
Well, exactly, Parikshit. TTV Dinakaran is actually very, very defiant in this matter. So he clearly mentioned that, he'll fight according to the justice. And now, even legal experts say that this case is actually favored to TTV Dinakaran's side since citing the Yediyurappa case of Karnataka during 2011. Because the similar kind of the case where, 16 MLAs actually, went to meet the governor, and similar kind of a case. So even the legal experts believe that TTV Dinakaran might get justice in this case. So even
All right, all right. I think we've lost Sanjeevi. But just to give you a sense of what's happening at the High Court, MLAs from the TTV Dinakaran camp, 18 of them have gone to the High Court demanding that their disqualification by the Speaker should be set aside because what they have done does not amount to defection, and the section regarding defection in the Constitution does not apply to them because they wanted the ouster of the Chief Minister on charges of corruption. This is not defection. They've not broken away from the party. They've not jumped ranks, and that's why they should not be disqualified in this manner, and the disqualification should be set aside. Now, the reason why this becomes important is because these 18 MLAs really held the key or really held the reins of the government till a few days back. But now that they have been disqualified, the total strength of the assembly comes down, and the EPS and OPS camps have a comfortable majority, at least at the moment. If this High Court verdict goes against them, then these MLAs will be back in the House, and then TTV Dinakaran could play kingmaker. Let's go back to Sanjeevi at this point. Sanjeevi, it all boils down to who will play kingmaker in this government.
Well, exactly, the TTV Dinakaran camp's advocate, lawyer Dave is actually putting another point. There should not be a confidence motion held after the disqualification because, that is the main matter which is going on. The governor, after the verdict of this case, will actually decide on the floor test. And now, the advocate of TTV Dinakaran camp clearly mentions the point there should not be a confidence motion held at the Tamil Nadu Assembly after the disqualification because, that is the main matter in this case. Because after the removal of this, after the disqualification of this 18 MLAs, the case, the whole, no confidence motion will be supporting to the Edappadi Padichami. So now, the way clearly mentioned out the point, order is supposed to be served, but we are not served the order. We have, there should be no confidence motion held in the Tamil Nadu Assembly after the disqualification. So they are demanding a stay for the, confidence motion for the floor test in the Tamil Nadu Assembly without these 18 MLAs. So TTV Dinakaran also clearly mentioned that the floor test will happen only with this 18 MLAs inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly. And now a lawyer of the TTV Dinakaran camp argues in the court that no floor test should happen inside the Assembly after the disqualification of these 18 MLAs. So he clearly says that after the verdict of this disqualification case, only the floor test should happen in the Assembly. This is the argument which is being kept by the TTV Dinakaran faction, and other lawyers are yet to argue in this case, Parikshit.
And how is all right, we're getting more views. Yes, I can hear that. America Narayanan is joining us on this broadcast. What do you feel about this case, the way it's going? It all boils down to who will be the kingmaker in Tamil Nadu politics.
Well, you're right. I think yesterday, in the people's perception, there's a major change because Dinakaran has shown much better crowd that the EPS or OPS faction is able to pull in spite of their being in power, one. Two, as far as on a legal battle, the EPS, OPS faction seem to be on a weak ground because there is a precedence that the Supreme Court has said that in the Yediyurappa, the same thing has happened, and what the Speaker had done at that time in Karnataka, there is a precedence here, and I think in spite of the fact that the Tamil Nadu Speaker has said he has applied his mind and followed the procedure, it looks as if he is on a weaker ground, and the court will decide very soon, and I think it's going to be a tough time for the EPS-OPS faction of the then ADMK. There's no ADMK as it stands today.
America and Narayan, do you feel that these MLAs are on a strong wicket? They are saying that the defection law does not apply to them and they've only demanded the ouster of the chief minister on grounds of corruption. They've not defected to any other party. They're still in the AIDMK. They want to remain the part of the party, but they only want the chief minister to go.
That's correct. I think what's good for the goose has got to be good for the gander. If what these guys have to be applied on the anti-defection law, then it also applies to OPS faction. They have said the same thing. So you can't, play different rules for different people. To make the long story short, I think the Supreme Court's precedents on Karnataka will apply to Tamil Nadu, and I think the Speaker cannot, in my opinion, apply the anti-defection law on these 18 MLAs. Once that happens, then they lose the majority in the assembly floor also. They are only surviving because of the BJP support now.
But one has to also understand, America and Narayan, that all these MLAs are supporting TTV Dinakaran, and TTV Dinakaran and Shashi Kala have been ousted from the AIDMK in the General Council meeting.
Well,
now, majority of the MLAs, majority of the members are with the unified AIDMK.
The court has not agreed. They said they can call the people together, but I do not know whether it is considered as a general council. So the time will tell. Okay.
You're saying the time will tell. The government could be in for tough times if this court verdict goes against them. But this is a case that will go on for the next couple of months. This volatility, this tension in Tamil Nadu politics is not going to end, because no matter what the verdict is in the Madras High Court, this is going to go all the way to the Supreme Court.
That's correct. It will go on for a year till 1918, where the BJP wants a state and the central government election to be held together.
Is there any way out of it at all?
Well, I think the governor and other people, if they act constitutionally, then the election can be held earlier, and that's the way to end it. Finally, it's a people's verdict that democracy has to function on. Until that happens, it will procrastinate. Neither the BJP nor the ruling dispensation here wants it to end, because they know if they were to face the electorate, they will lose.
But wasn't the appointment of TTV Dinakaran and Shashi Kala, doesn't it absolutely become illegal? And therefore, what these MLAs are doing, doesn't it amount to defection and anti-party activities? All right, I think we've lost that link with America Narayanan. I'm going across to Sanjeevi. Sanjeevi is joining us from the Madras High Court. Sanjeevi, what's happening? By when can we expect a preliminary order today?
Well, the argument of Tamil Nadu Speaker Dhanapala started, and a senior advocate of Supreme Court, R.M. Sundaram, commences his argument on behalf of the Tamil Nadu Speaker Dhanapal. So the argument is still going on. Argument just started. Argues that there will be no floor test for the next days until counters are filed. So he also seeks more time for this case, since the allegation is against the Speaker of Tamil Nadu. The advocate, R.M. Sundaram, advocate who is actually...
Sanjeevi, just stay with us. Senior journalist Kishore Swamy is joining us here on this broadcast. Kishore Swamy, this is becoming interesting. And now all these MLAs of the TTV Dinakaran camp, they have gone to High Court demanding that their disqualification be set aside. What do you feel about their case? Do you feel the government is going to have it easy in court?
No, the question that has been raised here is whether the Speaker can indeed disqualify on the grounds which he has cited. Now, going by the Yediyurappa case, where clearly the Supreme Court has come out with directions where the Justice Altamas Kabir, the directions are very clear that MLA merely exercising his fundamental right, his or her fundamental right to say that I do not have trust in as Chief Minister, cannot be deemed as a defection. So,
you know, these
whereas the
MLAs
question
are
of
saying,
getting
these MLAs are
disqualified, they
saying
very
what they've
clear,
done
they have
does not
said
amount to
they are-
defection.
Yeah, it is not like a confidence.
Yeah. You know, Kishore Swamy, just to make it clear to our viewers, they're saying what they've done does not amount to defection. They've only demanded the ouster of the Chief Minister.
Yes. They have not lost confidence with the government. We are saying that the Chief Minister, having turned corrupt, is not fit to hold that constitutional office. To say that, you don't have to be an MLA, even a normal citizen who has not voted. It is a fundamental right for him or her to say that.
Okay. Kishore Swamy, Sanjeevi, thanks very much for joining us on this broadcast.